Now back to Making a Difference, only here on V81 Radio, South Manila. We'll be back.
Okay, now we are tuned in to making a difference. So for those who are just tuning in now, I am interviewing this is an organization about 1 million lives. So they are an organization who provides life to the different communities here in the Philippines. Now, they started 10 years ago. It is just like a high school summer thing. And then now their organization is really good. We have four of the officers here today. I interviewed the co-founder and the executive director. But for this segment, I will be interviewing the president director and marketing and communications officer. But before I call them back, they actually have a video for us to watch. So maybe we can play that video now. It's a 4 minute video only. So check it out.
On April 28 to 29, a group of 9 ISM students traveled to Pundakit, Zambales in order to distribute solar lights to a fishing community off the coast of the main town. My name is Lorenzo Yabata, and I'm the co-president of the 1 Million Lights ISM chapter.
Hi, I'm Rocky Tanfo, and I'm the co-head of 1 Million Lights Philippines. Here in 1 Million Lights Philippines, we believe in helping out the Philippines by distributing solar-powered light to over 10 million Filipinos who do not have access to electricity. We do this by providing clean, safe, and affordable lighting in different homes throughout the country.
When we first visited the fishing village of Pundakit, we saw that a lot of their light sources were just lamps from either gas or kerosene or generators, and we felt that our solar-powered lamps would be able to have a great impact on their community.
Today, we've distributed 100 solar-powered lights with the help of students from International School Manila. Over 10 million Filipinos do not have access to electricity. And the problem here is that instead of using lights, clean, safe, and affordable lights, they use kerosene lanterns. These kerosene lanterns are costly, are dangerous to one's health, and may even cause fires in the house. Today, we were able to distribute 100 solar-powered lights. These lights are very simple and easy to use, and they may have only two main components. On the top, you have the solar panel, which is able to harness electricity from the sun. And at the bottom, you have the solar-powered light itself, which is very simple to use. It has three settings: high, medium, low, which can be used for various activities, from cooking to a simple night light.
Ang generator sana maganda, pero ang problema is mahal ang gasolina kasi madalang naman ang diesel ngayon eh. Mahal kaya kuminsan hindi rin maganda, lalo kung sarili mo, hindi rin maganda kasi nakakalugi. Ibig sabihin ba, oo, nagbabayad, kuminsan putol kasi pag walang pambayad, ganun ang pag may pera na naman, papakabit naman, ganun yun. Minsan walang ilaw, minsan 9 pa lang patay na yung ilaw. Yun ang pinaka namin sa wala. Kasi no choice ka eh. Makakatulong siya kasi siyempre pag wala ng ilaw lahat, pwede magagamit mo na siya. Pwede na magdamagan yun hanggang umaga, di ba? Napakaganda, malaki talagang tulong kaya gusto ng iba. Kasi generator kahit mag-generator, ilang oras lang wala na. Oh, yun, ilaw na yun, magagamit mo siya, di ba? Oh, di malaki ang pakinabang, magising ka sa gabi, magluto ka or else na ka ng baby mo, yung mga may baby, nagtitimpla ng gatas, hindi nagasera. Magamit ka siyempre sila nun, dahil maganda nga.
So, mga anong oras kayo nagising sa umaga?
Minsan alas 3.
So, sobrang aga.
Kasi
Hindi ako nakakatulog na, labi na kay may apo ko na eskwelahan, may eskwela.
So nakatira siya kasama niyo?
Ayun po,
Sa
talagang
gabi.
pasalamat nga ako mayroong ganyan. Kasi makakag-aral na yung apo ko.
We hope that these lights could really impact their lives by giving their children a chance to study longer in the night, by giving them a chance to bond at dinner, and by also allowing them to leave the house earlier in the morning or come home later in the evening to work longer hours. Well, in the future, we hope to have more fundraisers to raise awareness and to get more people involved with this, as well as more distributions in order to help more communities around the Philippines. Even though currently we're really far away from 1 million lights, every single distribution helps us reach that final goal. And every distribution will help a community improve their quality of life.
Okay, so there you go. That is 1 million lights. That is basically what they do. So to further talk about their projects and their process and how you guys could actually volunteer, I'd like to invite Paulina and Sari to come back on. Hi, girls. How are you?
Erica. Hey, Erica, doing good.
Okay, so okay, before we start, I'm curious about your lights. So how do you make your lights?
So our lights, we actually we don't make them ourselves. We buy them from a
Okay.
very good supplier. And the type of lights that we use are these solar powered lamps. So you don't have to like connect them to anything.
Mhm.
It has it's a lamp with its own panel.
Okay.
And the great thing about this solar powered lamp is that it lasts around 5 years. So we make sure to buy from like reputable sources. So they're very sturdy because imagine it's not easy for us to get to the community and it's not easy for the community to be able to like contact us. So we make sure that the lights we give are really sturdy and will really last for that long. So I can also talk about like why these lamps are such a big deal for the community and how they're able to help.
Yeah,
So
sure.
so the lamp we use, it provides like a clean and much cheaper source of energy for these families because without electricity, a lot of these families are using kerosene lamps.
Mhm.
And if you add it up, it costs around 600 a month. So if you can imagine, over like months and years of kerosene usage, you actually spend a lot of money, even though it's cheaper at the moment. And also, kerosene releases fumes that are really not safe for these Philippine for people to inhale. So there are studies actually that show that kerosene usage for one night is actually equivalent to smoking a pack of cigarettes every day. So can you imagine like children while studying, inhaling all these fumes and it's really not good for them. So with the use of our solar powered lamps, it's really a big deal for families to have like a clean, stable source of lighting and and like to have like safe nights. Just to add also, our lights are also World Bank accredited, so
Oh,
you're really sure
wow.
about what we use.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So, how do you get to these communities? Like, is there a certain process that you need to follow, or did you come up with one? How does a project go, like from start to finish?
Okay, so I can talk about this too. So 10 years down the line, we have a very strong set of volunteers who are passionate about what we do, and they really help us like get the lights from here, Manila, to all over the Philippines. And to get these lights there, we also need the help of sponsors and local partners. So sponsors, we usually have corporate sponsors. So these are companies that go to us for CSR. We can talk about that more later. And We also have people who just want to give out lights. Like just this year we had a volunteer from the US who came back here because she wanted to see the community that her grandmother was helping out with. So she was able to like raise money for her own lights and make the trip back to this island community in Iloilo.
Okay.
To help us also, we have local partners that help us match our sponsors with these communities that don't need lights. So usually these are NGOs or LGU units like all over the Philippines who have access to these communities and can help us get from here to there.
Mhm.
So next, so the actual distribution. So we bring volunteers from our sponsor and our own volunteers to check out these communities. I can share some pictures so you have an
I
idea
love
of.
that you guys have photos. I love looking at photos. Sorry, just a sidetrack. But yeah, so that our viewers can see what it's like to volunteer. Maybe you guys want to volunteer for 1 million lights. Sari will talk about that later. I am willing to volunteer. So,
Did you
so
see
what?
my picture?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So just to share, these are like some of the communities we've been to. So as you can see, it's not so easy to get these communities. Like often we have to hike, we have long boat rides just to get here. And if you think about it, like for us, it's just like we come here every once in a while. But for the Filipinos living in these communities, it's not easy to get around on a daily basis. So light makes a big difference
Mhm.
here. So we have mountain communities in the previous picture, like communities in wetlands. Um, Talk about also like the type of people we give lights to. So we give a lot of lights to people who are farmers and fishermen. And like in the case of Mangbong from Samar, it's a big deal to have a stable source of lighting because imagine fishing with a kerosene lamp. It's not safe. Like, what if the waves are strong? What if you drop it in the ocean? Um, it really makes a big deal to have like security in what you do.
Mhm. Yeah.
And just to share also, like it's not the reason we go to these places, but it's a nice benefit to see such beautiful places around the Philippines when you volunteer. So this was taken earlier this year in Concepcion, Iloilo. That's one of our volunteers, and this is in Zambales. So we really have like you. I think that's one of the beauties of like volunteering for 1 million lights. You really get to see such like besides being able to meet beautiful people and hearing their stories, you really get to see such beautiful places.
Yeah, I know.
Um, yeah, so we bring our volunteers to all these places, and then they get a chance to be able to share the lights with these people and teach them how to use it. They also get like a great chance to learn about the culture and the way of life of people living in these communities. So for us, we believe that we're not just bringing light to the people who need them, but also for the volunteers. We hope it's a chance for them to learn how to appreciate what they have and also give them like a fire to make their own difference. So just to share some stories about like how our lights have helped people. So we have Catherine, who's a student from Rizal, and she was talking about how her grades went up with the use of solar powered lighting. So
That's so
she
great.
realized that studying with like a kerosene lamp, it's harder to study. I mean, the light's not so stable and it's heavy on the lungs. So with the help of solar power lighting, she was much more encouraged to study. And
Mhm.
yun, Mangbong from Samar, who was able to fish safely with the help of his solar lamp. So that's basically what we do. We have exciting things in store. Maybe we can talk about it a little later, but for now, I think Sari can talk more about like how to volunteer if that's good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, how do we volunteer? I mean, I'm curious. Like, Kind of want to volunteer. No.
Well, so like our volunteers, they come from all over. Currently, we have a huge network of volunteers from of different ages, of different from different countries, and like how Rafi and Mark explained a while ago, it's mostly youth based, and it started out as like just a collection of different of our friends. Like we only asked like-minded people, like people who were also interested and passionate in helping other people, asking them if they wanna come out and volunteer with us. And it from there it just grew and grew. As time went along, and then as the publicity went, to our amazement, like we started having people started contacting us on our Facebook and our social media accounts. Started getting emails from big corpos. Usually as like a CSR project, or and sometimes when we're lucky enough as a long-term commitment partnership between us and the big corpus. So a lot of our volunteers, we've had a lot of distributions with different corporations where they ask us to plan a distribution, and then we bring them over there, and yeah, they do we just do our magic, and then it's really interesting because we usually tailor fit all our distributions to what our donors can provide. So, for example, if it's a big corporation that's willing to contribute, usually we get to help a whole community. But then sometimes when our donors aren't able to fund as many lights as like a corporation, we also we wholly welcome individuals and just regular people to come out and donate whatever they can. We've had a lot of people reach out to us and ask us if it's something that they can do for their birthday, and then they donate around like 25 lights. I've had cousins who came from the States, and then donated about, I think it was 14 lights. It's just a few, but we're able to make it happen. So as long as like you're clear with what you can contribute, and then what you want to give, sometimes it's more than just lights. We've had people give relief packets, give food, rice, canned goods to our beneficiaries, which was also really nice. We've had events where we also have a little mass where we pray and get together with the community and have like a salo-salo at the end of the distribution process. And then also we also provide opportunities for high school students who are passionate also about helping people. So the video that we watched a while ago came from the ISM chapter, and they reached out to us and asked us if they could set up their own chapter of OML, and they do their own fundraising. They work closely with us to plan their own distributions, and they've been to a lot of places in the Philippines already as of now. We also have a chapter in BSM that we're really proud of. And it's really cool because it started out kind of like the same thing with like the origins of OML with Rafi and Mark in the earlier years of OML when they were just high school students, and then we're coming around full circle with other high school students, and hopefully later on even reaching out to grade schools, communities, and because it's a really good learning experience for everyone. You don't just give, you also receive from the community that you're helping out. So yeah, we've also done grade school with British School Manila. Yeah, so it's so depending on like what the parents allow, we can either go really far or we go to a near community for when parents are a little bit concerned for their kids' safety and stuff.
If I can share also, it's so cute also, like sometimes we have really young kids and you can see that they really enjoy it. Earlier this year, we went with British School Manila. Like, the kids, I think, were 9 or 10 years old. and you could see that they were really doing our best. And then after that, a kid even went up to me and then he said, it makes my heart so happy to be able to help. And I think it just really shows that we make, like, it's such a great experience to give light to the community and also light something up, like, for the people who volunteer for us. And yeah, it's great that we work with youth because when they grow up, they're gonna be the ones like heading these types of things. So
Yeah. So if, for viewers who are interested in coming out and partnering with us, we love hearing from people that they want to help out, they want to come out to a distribution with us. So we really invite people to, if you're interested, in the very least, come out and message us on Facebook or our Instagram. On all we're on all social media accounts, and we, depending on what you can offer, like your skills and stuff, what we need a lot of the times is like people who can give who can do documentation, so videographers and photographers. But then we're also accepting volunteers who can work in the back end of things, like in operations and marketing, who can help us with copywriting or fundraising or finance. Really, anything that you can do is a skill that we will be able to work with and appreciate. We love all the help that we can get.
Okay, so how do we volunteer? Like, do we contact you guys directly, or is there like a website that we have to go to for that?
Sure, you want to take this?
talk about it. Sorry, you want? Or okay. So you can just send a message on our Facebook, and you can volunteer for distributions. You can volunteer for like our like day-to-day work. Like maybe you're a good like graphic artist, or maybe you want to talk about it on the radio. So yeah, just send us a Facebook message. We're also interested in finding more communities that we can bring light to. So maybe if anyone listening there knows of a community that we can help, that would be really appreciated.
Okay, that's actually interesting and timely, because I'm looking at the comments right now. Maybe we could flash that. There's just one comment, the recent one by NNM. How do you get to know where to donate solar lights? Do you have a list / study of places who will get the solar lights first?
So the way it works right now is that we have partners with like different LGUs and different NGOs who can tell us like, oh, we work with this community and right now they don't have lights. A lot of people also contact us to say, oh, this place doesn't have lights. So if you're interested in donating lights, then just shoot us a message and we can tell you about our different communities. Maybe there's one that you'd like to donate lights to. So, and if anyone has a list of communities that would need lights, also that would be great. Any help is appreciated. There's still tons of Filipinos who need lights, so we really appreciate all your help.
But then if also there are people like who just want to come up to us and tell us that this is the amount that we can donate, we also vet communities. So we have our own list of communities with where we've made assessments and the capability of local partners in producing a kind of event like this, like the feasibility of it. So we just don't. We make sure that the lights go to people who really need it, and that we are able to plan a project that can be successful. And then, yes.
Okay, great. I actually have a question. You mentioned a while ago, Sari, that you have 2 chapters, one in ISM and one in BSM. So you partner with schools. Do you have other chapters in other schools, or are you planning to branch out also when it comes to schools?
So far, it's BSM and ISM that we are currently actively working with.
Okay.
But as we go on, as we expand, yes, we're so open to creating new chapters in different schools where there are people who are also as passionate as us in helping other people. So if you and your friends are interested in coming helping out and spearheading your own projects and stuff, yeah, we'd be happy to guide you and help you through that so that you can make that happen.
Yeah. Okay, one last question. This is coming from me, based on what I've been hearing from you girls. You mentioned that your solar lights are accredited by the World Bank. Am I correct?
Mhm.
Yeah. So, what are the advantages of having solar lights that are accredited by the World Bank?
Um,
We make sure that they're up to standard. Knowing that the lights are accredited by the World Bank, we can assure our donors that we are we're wisely spending the money that they're donating, and that it comes from top quality materials, and that it lasts a really long time. It won't die after a few days or a
we
couple of weeks.
also had some distributions where residents from the communities would talk about, someone gave lights here, but it only lasted 1 month, it only lasted 2 months. Of course, we don't want that to happen. We want stable source of lighting, and also like our lights have warranty, which I think is like a really great thing because we don't want to just put the lights there and say okay we're done. We want to
Yeah.
make sure that it's really usable and
Yes.
the community really is able to use it for a long time.
Mm. Okay. Okay, so that's. I was just curious because you guys mentioned World Bank. Another question that popped into my head. You mentioned that your lights last for 5 years. Since 1 million lights has been going on for like 10 years, have you visited a community after 5 years? Just to check on them or to like give again. Did you guys do that already?
Yes, because we have some communities that we really go to regularly. So we get to hear also about how the lights are doing. And at the same time, sometimes like we're able to give the community, but we're not able to give to the whole community yet because there are thousands of households just in that one community. So it's really great to be able to come back and then we get to walk around your community and we see it like hanging in different like houses and we get to ask like, oh, how's your light doing? And most of them are really working. So like you can really see that throughout the years, like we've seen some lamps like they're so weathered already, like they're not the right color but they're still working, so that's really great.
Okay. Okay, so I'm sure you guys really make sure that your lights are very sustainable. And how do you, is there another way for you guys to check on that? Is there, oh, I
um,
don't know what you call it, but yeah.
so we also have this sustainability model.
Mhm.
We're still working on it to like really improve it. Of course, like every and organization is always working to grow. So actually like each light costs around more or less like 1,000 pesos, but each family from gets to save like around 7,000 pesos per year from that one light. So if you imagine like that one light, you get to use it for 5 years. That saves a family 35,000 pesos. If my math is correct.
Yeah.
The model is that we believe that we give you the first light, but as you're able to save from using this light,
Mhm.
maybe you can purchase your next one already. So that's what we're working on these days.
Okay. Well, at least, yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of it. You get to each day is like a learning experience for all of us. And after going through all those communities, I'm sure you guys see like, okay, maybe we can do this better, maybe we can do that. So it's a learning process. But thanks girls for sharing that.
Can I
Great.
add one more thing?
For having time.
So I just want to like emphasize to our viewers that our for anyone who's interested in helping us sponsor a community or adopting a community. Our partnerships are tailor fit to your needs and what you personally also want to get out of it. If it's something that you want you and your friends to have like an immersion experience, or it's to help out as many people as possible from a particular community, then it's something that we can make happen and extend into a possibly maybe later on even a livelihood project, even livelihood projects that we can do with the community to even help sustain them later on. So it's not just like a one-time kind of helping out kind of thing. So we really appreciate any kind of help that anybody has to offer.
All right, thanks for that, Sari. There you go, guys. If you are really willing to volunteer, if your heart is in the right place, I suggest you contact 1 Million Lights like right now, like after the show. You know, probably after the lockdown, I'm sure you guys are gonna be even more busy, and you guys are gonna need more help. So thank you guys for sharing what you guys do and how to volunteer. So before we go on to our last segment. Okay, so our last segment is more personal. Like, I'm gonna ask these guys what their life is like volunteering for 1 Million Lights. So don't leave just yet. We're not finished. We'll be right back after these few announcements.
We'll be back shortly, making a difference. Only here on V81 Radio, South Manila.
Maraming salamat sa bawat ilaw ng tahanan. Maraming salamat sa walang sawang pagmamahal, pag-aaruga at pagpapayo sa amin. Utang na loob namin sa inyo ang aming buhay. Kaya sa mga nanay, tita, lola, tatay na tumatayong nanay at single mom, Happy Mother's Day! Happy Mother's Day! Happy Mother's Day! Mula sa inyong V81 Radio.
Para enjoy ang pakikinig sa V81 Radio kahit saan, we are now on your Amazon Echo devices. Just say, Alexa, play V81 Radio at i-enjoy ang inyong mga paboritong Pinoy music 24/7. Sabihin lang, Alexa, play V81 Radio. May items ka na gustong ibenta? Or planning to buy something specific? Visit PinoyAds.ph, a free online classified ads na available to all. Post an ad para sa item that you want to sell, or browse through the listing to find out what you're looking for. Connect with the community to explore, discover, buy and sell. Be the boss of every transaction sa PinoyAds.ph. After this pandemic, let's support the Filipino community. Buy local, visit local, go local. Kabayan, nanguhumsik ka ba? I-download na ang aming mobile app at mag-enjoy sa mga kantang tatak Pinoy and feel like you're home. The V81 Radio mobile app, available in the App Store and Google Play Store. V81 Radio mobile app, free now, free forever. Tunog Pinoy, Tatak Pinoy, the future of radio. This is your all-hits, all-Pinoy internet radio station. This is V81 Radio Worldwide.
Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man ito'y mapapakinggan. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.